Just hold it for me.
Hold this.
No, your phone.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Closer.
It's a nice little. Yeah. Thank you. Oh. How long have you been doing this for?
Longer than you've been alive.
Okay. That's how I know.
That's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
Longer than you've been alive. I think I started radio in 2002.
Oh, when I was born.
Yeah, 2002 I started radio, but I've been doing TV before that.
Good. No problem. Sorry of the mistake, guys. I had to just come rather early than late.
Take a video of this one.
No problem.
It's Friday afternoon, just after 2 o'clock, and we're hanging out with an incredible young actress who's taking the South African industry by storm. Kealeboga Masango is in studio with us. She has such a bright future ahead of her. Fans already have been vibing with her talent and how well she plays her role on screen. You would have recognized her from her role in Rhythm City and in Showmax's original Youngins. And she joins us to have a conversation about what the foray into the entertainment space has been and possibly what's next. It's lovely to meet you, Kealeboga.
It's lovely to be here.
Welcome. Okay, so you are from KwaZulu-Natal.
Oh no, let me tell you about that. That's Wikipedia. That's incorrect.
Who made that up?
That's incorrect. Every single time I explain, I'm like, no, guys, that's someone made that, and they were like, oh, we'll just add some spice. I am born and raised in Joburg.
Clarify it for us. So
Yes.
born and raised in Johannesburg.
Yes.
And tell me about young Kealeboga. What kind of young person were you?
I was very shy, timid, I would always listen to my parents, I didn't want to step in line,
Good girl.
I was a good girl, textbook good girl. I'm like teacher's pets. I would always try to do extra things to boost my marks and to do that and this just to please my parents and myself. But I realized that was just too much pressure. But she was also fun. She had her moments. She was still discovering herself. I mean, I am still even now.
Of course.
But she was very cute. She was like a little, the timid version of me now.
I can see it. I can actually see it.
With the glasses
in your
and braces.
face. I can glasses and braces
Yeah.
as well. I think that's so gorgeous. And then when did performance become a part of your life?
So this is actually a very funny story. My mom was walking, I think we were doing grocery shopping when I was I think I was 3 years old. And she was approached by this lovely lady. The lady was like, please take my card. I think your child would be great in commercials and stuff. And my mom was like, I'm going to take the card, but this is very sus.
Yeah.
And then one day, I think weeks went by and she was cleaning the house. And then she found the card again, and then she was like, you know what, maybe, let's just try it. And then from there, since 3 years old, just doing commercials and pageants, which I respectfully dislike. I cannot. The tiara, the dress, it's not my vibe.
Yeah.
But we started from there and did commercials afterwards. And then at the age of 16, auditioned for the role of Uzintle on Rhythm City.
That's
and mind you,
amazing.
the week before, I was getting no's from every single audition I went to. And I remember I was having a conversation with my dad and I was like, you know what, I don't feel like going. And he was like, you are going. Literally the same day after the audition, they were like, you got the role.
We want you.
And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure that it's me?
What's it like going through all those no's?
Especially as a young person, it's quite hard to hear. But I've started taking it from a perspective of it's not my turn. It's someone else's opportunity. And it's also not based off of my acting or whatnot. It's just they wanted the specific person and that is meant for them. And it just gave me more opportunities to work on my craft as well, you know, because going to auditions is really good. Like, you get to build range as well with each and every character that you audition for. So it was quite hard then, but as I grew up and started understanding, you know, the industry, it just became easier to hear it. It's just like, oh, okay, on to the next one.
I'm curious to know what commercials you were in.
Oh, Domestos, Nedbank, White Star, like all of
Pretty
them.
Little Girl
Just
A.
a little.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so crazy. And what was the response then like at school if, you know, your commercials just debuted? What was life like in the school community?
It was so funny, especially with the whole Domestos thing. They would be like, "Oh, that's you." Nedbank, they do like the 4 sign. They'd be like, "Yeah, hi,
Did
Kia,"
you create
and I'm
what you
like,
did?
"Oh, guys, please,
Was
can I
it
just
so
go to
embarrassing?
school?" It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, but it was fun. It was fun.
I relate to that so much. I did my first commercial when I was 4 years old. And so I relate to, you know, it being something that you love doing when you're on set. And you love the whole world of it. But then the duality of them being in school and being a normal person and being just a interesting black girl. Like, but at the same time. And so I don't know, I find that it taught me a lot about resilience, and that's why I'm so fiercely myself no matter where I am. And I wonder what it's taught you.
It's taught me the same thing. It's also taught me to be very confident in myself and not to really like base off of my opinions from other people, because people always constantly have something to say and it's never going to change. So it starts with me accepting myself for who I am and being very proud of that. And that's just how it's going to go from now.
I love it. Tell me about Buhle.
Oh, Buhle Kunene. Buhle freaking Kunene. I have to say, she has been the most interesting character I've played.
Yes.
She is very, how can I say, she's one person where it's like, if I'm at the top, everyone else is below.
Ooh.
At the end of the day. Because I know that I work hard. I'm very driven. So if anyone's on my level, I need to be a step ahead. That's just how she is. She's very competitive. She always wants to win. And I feel like that's also based off of, you know, from home. Because at home, they want her to have good marks. That's why she's the head girl, choir leader. She wants to have, like, all of these things to do and just to show and prove a point that she's this good.
How does she fit into the world of Youngins?
I feel like she fits in with the whole stereotypical popular girl.
Okay.
Yeah, she's with that. But she's I could even say PLK, you know, pastor's child. Yes, you know, father is a pastor, but at school, you know, she's, you know, I'm going to do me. That's Buhle. She just does her own thing.
What's the process been like filming with Showmax?
It's been amazing. I feel like we've had so much, you know, guidance from crew members, even wardrobe and makeup. Like, they help us with all of this, like, and we became like a family, and it's just made the whole shooting process so amazing, especially obviously with my my co-stars. When running lines, we get to gel, we get to understand each other so that we make it as authentic as possible. So it's just been amazing.
That sounds like you're having a very good time.
Oh, I was.
Yeah.
I definitely. Oh.
But
Wow.
take us back to 16 and your first role with Rhythm City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that experience was hilarious. The first day on set, I dropped the fork 4 times. We were supposed to be eating, and I literally had made us like have like 6 takes of the same. I was scared. I was petrified because like I'm around my idols now, and I need to act like, oh, you know, I've done this before, but it's like this is my first time. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, but it was fun.
So the skill is different to the talent.
Yes.
The talent can be innate, you're born with it, it's there. But tell me
100%.
about working on the skill, particularly if I'm to understand a production like Rhythm City. You know, you're every day, you've got sides every day, you've got new dialogue, the character, the arcs are ever evolving.
Yes.
So tell me about some of the key skills that you've developed.
The key skills that I can say that I've developed are when we're in a scene. A lot of people think that it's about knowing the person's dialogue already. But I take it from a perspective of listening then answering, because that's how you have a conversation with someone in the real world. So it's about that active listening and that response and taking in what the person said instead of already knowing what they're going to say. So you take it from a perspective of your character's hearing this for the first time. So you need to actively listen so that you know how your character is going to respond. So I've learned that, and I feel like that one has to be the most important, especially with playing like emotions on your face. The moment you think it just shows. So if you feel sad, it's just that thought, because camera really does catch that with the close-ups. You don't have to verbalize emotions, and that's something that I had to learn as I grew. You don't have to verbalize emotions. It's just a thought. Once you plant that seed, it just starts showing on your face, and they just capture it like that, and it's more intense. And I feel like scenes like that where there's no dialogue are the most beautiful scenes. But yeah, that sounds I just went deep into
I love it. Acting 101 with Kealeboga Masango, who's in studio with us. We're hanging out for the next 10 minutes or so. Let's take a short break. This is Power Lunch on Power 98.7.
Ooh, in my head, I was like, "Am I speaking rats? Is my posture correct?"
Will help you manage your finances,
Oh, this is so amazing.
HR, and so much more for only
They need to
€4
change this
extra on your
Wikipedia. It's
Wikipedia.
outrageous.
It's so outrageous. I've been saying, like, guys, can someone just do this? Because every single time it's the same question.
Yeah.
Emlazi, ngithi cha, oh bandla. No. Every time.
So you grew up in Mzansi.
No! And I'm like, oh, not this again. Not this again. I did not. Every single time it's like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, it's okay. It's not you. It's Wikipedia. I don't even know where they got that information from. They even got my age wrong. They say I'm a 2003.
Yes, that's what
I'm a 2002. Like, just add the year.
But where does this come from then?
I have no idea.
Is it on your
That's why I sent my bio instead as well, because my bio has all the information I did.
I wonder. Okay, but you were in Indodamas
Yes.
and Campus King.
No.
The river.
Yes. Girl.
We're just having a little bit of a moment off the air about your IMDb and your Wikipedia page, and there's a lot of fiction. There's some fact, but there's a lot of fiction in here as well. I wonder, what that tells you about once you are of the people, once you are Kealeboga, yes, the person, but the actress.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff gets said.
Incorrect things.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it's a situation where I don't have to have a conversation about it, I just leave it.
Yeah.
But with situations like this where it's like where I'm from and whatnot, it's like, guys, like I would politely say, that is not where I'm
You
from.
were not born in Umlazi.
No.
I think that's fascinating. That's absolutely fascinating. So, without giving anything away, you've just come from training.
Yes.
In preparation of something.
Yes.
That's coming up next.
Yes.
It must be so exciting to have that little secret, know that you're working on something that you can't talk about yet. Tell me about the preparation process. Yes, for this role, because I know it's quite physical, but for any role, beforehand, what do you go through?
Honestly, for me, I sit down with my scripts and I read ahead so that I understand where my character's going, what happened before. We even get treatments. We read about our character's treatments, so there's like enough background story for the character. And I just tap into that so that I have a better understanding of my character and know how to play her, because at the end of the day, for me, it's getting to know someone. This is a different person. That's why I always categorize my characters as a different human being.
Yes.
So I'm having a conversation. I'm like, okay, so who is this person? Who are they? Where are they from? How do they express themselves? It's those questions that come, and then we have conversations with our directors. They give us a more clear and defined line with where everything's going to be going and how we should play it. And then it just comes to life.
Yeah, and it comes to life, and that group effort, the fact that it's the entire crew, the directors, the writer,
100%.
it's so much of a team project that
Yes.
makes this work. Tell me about the importance of having a good relationship, or at least a supportive relationship with your director.
It is very important because I feel like our directors are like our... It's like, for me, it's like my parents,
Yes.
because they guide me through the scene.
Yes.
So it's amazing to have an actor's director, which is usually someone who used to be an actor and then they became a director.
So there's an actor's director
And a
there's-
director.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actor's director understand that there's performance and
Yes.
technicality combined. Whereas some directors, it's just a direct and then they trust you with it. Whereas sometimes it's beneficial, but it's very helpful to have a actor's director because they're like, you know what, I think in this scene, since it's a close-up, I need you to think of this, you know, remember where you come from, and maybe just drop your shoulders to show that, you know, this is heavy on you, so that it highlights that in the wide. It's like key factors like that a lot of people, you may think people miss that, but when you watch it, it's like body language has changed.
Yes.
The way they have taken certain information from a specific scene, it's like, wow, like the character's holding so much or is expressing so much without saying a lot, or through certain words that they say. It's just small details.
I mean, those are massive details actually in the storytelling, and
100%.
you know, the words are part of the story, the camera shots, the lighting, but every single nuance of your face, you're telling a story.
100%.
Dream role in Kealeboga's life would be what?
Honestly, I don't have a dream role.
You
I feel
don't?
like I don't, because my goal with acting, and this is why I have such a passion for it, it's just telling someone's story as authentically as I can.
So dream stories to tell.
There's so many. There's so many. But honestly, I feel like my go-to right now is to play in like a horror movie, or like
Okay.
just horror, just to show like a, you know, a little crazy side. I think that would be so
if I
amazing.
can just tell our listening audience, her eye is twitching and her neck is creaking, like she's spasming. Like those what's Michael Jackson's video?
Oh no, Thriller!
Yeah, that's what you just reminded. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to tap into that. I think
Something
that would
different.
be interesting. Yeah, something outside of my comfort zone, and I,
I mean,
think that would be
are
amazing.
there enough productions on the go when you look around that are exploring sci-fi, horror, fantasy from a South African point of view?
I feel like we're slowly entering that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of productions are also kind of aiming on what would please their target market. But there are some productions that are kind of stepping into a different avenue to have like the sci-fi, to have the horrors. And I'm loving that. And I just hope that in the future there's more and more stories like that instead of the basics like a romance or, you know, tragedy. And it's like there's more to it. Like there's different stories, you know, there's psychological thrillers. Those are my favorite. I know they're my favorite, guys. I'm sorry.
But I think that would be such a wonderfully unexplored genre in South Africa.
100%.
Because if you think about our lives in South Africa, everything's a risk.
Yo.
It's a risk.
It definitely
you are
is.
leaving your house. You are
It's a risk.
It's a risk. And so the psychological story of that, the threat,
The
the what's
threats,
around
the
the corner,
suspense. That would eat.
you're onto something.
You understand? So I
Yes.
feel like I just hope that in the future they do open into those avenues.
Some of your icons, either here or abroad, who do you love to watch?
I love watching Viola Davis.
Oh yes.
There's just something that she does with like her art. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but you feel the emotion. It's like you're experiencing it with her.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, because I feel like that's the most important concept for an actress. You need to feel what I am trying to make you feel. What I'm feeling in this scene, I want you to feel it. And she manages to do that with emotional scenes, with just regular scenes where she's just having a conversation, where she's taking charge, where she's being argumentative. You feel every single emotion, and it doesn't have to be verbal. It doesn't have to be non-verbal. Like she just plays around.
She embodies it.
She embodies it
Yeah.
to say it
Yeah.
As simple.
I wonder, you watch people and you're inspired by people, but how do you have that buffer where it doesn't become an impersonation? Yeah.
The thin line is, for me, at the end of the day, you need to understand your character. The character that you're playing is not Viola Davis.
Got it.
So that differentiation really does help, because at the end of the day, you do have a story behind who this character is, and that's the main focal point. Now the question is, how are you going to play it as authentically as possible?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with your idols. I mean, obviously idols have techniques, which are very important, but now you need to understand your character in order to play her.
I love that. Back to the source material.
100%.
No matter what you think, is it true to the story?
Yes.
And then going back there.
Yeah.
This has been really great to talk to you. So what can you tell us? Where can we watch you?
Guys, I prefer to plead the fifth. Thank you.
Isn't Youngins still on?
It is still on. I would say Youngins. Very excited. A new season will come.
Yes.
Just don't know when.
Okay.
But Youngins, Stoat, which is on EVOD.
Yes.
Indoda Mast, which is on Mzansi Magic.
And
those are films, yes. Well, Stoat is a series.
Okay.
Indoda Mast was a film.
Yes.
And even The River. It's on Showmax. Come on now. Last
you
season.
are everywhere.
I'm trying my best.
It's very, very exciting. And then if we want to get clarity, not born in Umlazi, how do we get clarity on your social media? What are your handles?
Guys, my handles are official Kealeboga _Masango.
Okay.
That's Instagram. And then TikTok is Kealeboga Masango. You'll just find it. That's where you'll find me. Yeah. And I will explain to you, even if I have to do it 100 times, I will do it for you, because it's the truth.
I love it so much.
Very cutesy, very demure. Yes.
It's been so wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I can see your poise, but your focus and your love for what it is that you do. And I cannot wait to see how you evolve in the next 15 years.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be a rise.
Thank you.
Kealeboga Masango, our fantastic brand new actress in the space, taking South Africa's entertainment world by storm. Look up for that name in productions far and wide. It is now 2:30 on a Friday, so you know what that means. We have a chef in the house, and we're dealing with the perfect breakfast this afternoon. I know, it's the afternoon, but maybe you can prepare yourself for treating someone special, even if that someone is yourself over the weekend. Chef Kelly is going to be in studio after this, your 2:30 Power Headlines.
That was so fun.
Thanks, Bobby.
Good. So much fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
That was amazing.
That's so interesting. So you did commercials from when you were small?
I did. And I think that was very helpful to also see how set life is like before jumping straight into acting in general. So it just gave me the layouts, and I was like, okay, it's not that different, but it just does have its.
So if you had kids, would you let your kids do the same thing as you?
Oh, 100%. But I want it to be their choice, not mine.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Like this was your choice.
100%.
Yeah.
I was just very grateful that my mom threw me in at 3, and then when I got older, she was like, make a decision if you want to continue or not.
Yeah.
And then I just had this love for it, so I just continued.
Yeah, exactly the same story. How interesting.
Crazy, right? So amazing.
Set for a decrease of around 50.
That was amazing.
Please,
Please, before I die, before I go to the haven.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Thank you guys so much. Lovely meeting you.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you guys for having me. That was so much fun. Thanks.
It really was good.
Thank you so much, Mama. Let me just grab my stuff and skedaddle.
Skedaddle.
Thanks, guys.